I have a Diddy update today for y'all. Shout out to Pam, the law intellect for this. With that being said, we're gonna get into this, and I'm gonna get on out y'all's way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So many lives that you get from the net, they don't get no respect. She record, you know, keep got a check. Wanna unbiased between kids like in the chest. Got a bit of confidence, I'm waiting for a check.
Cause
So
to
if
be
you want
honest
to
with
go for a
y'all,
lawyer, or the mission, we go so hard, it's like she work for
I'm
commission.
getting
Call
sick of
me
this Diddy
accountant,
case
money
too,
like
like
she tripping, cause they like that money
everybody
mixing.
else
Got a
is.
penny mixing, got a couple curly pins that you like. Wanna know about law from the eyes? Tired of all these laws running lies. Because they agendas of disguise to me into the intellect. Cause I'm sure y'all miss all the times that I check. Now you just get your tone here for the people minutes of uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just owe me in facts.
Hello, everyone. Please put a one in the chat if you are tired of the Diddy fight. Put a one in the chat if you are tired of the Diddy fight. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jen Esquire, also known as the Law Intellect. If you are new here, welcome. Welcome, welcome to all new subscribers. Make sure that you let everyone know in the chat that you know we are still doing the proper breeding because we are all in the good family over here. We are social media nerds, and we evaluate various business talks, deliver good ideas. And our purpose is to try to take away the emotion and actually get into what the law says. And we have been discussing every single day almost the big trial. And I'm over it. I'm over it. And part of it, honestly, is, and that's why I'm out here in the backyard in this hot weather, right? I want to let you guys know that I'm over it. I really wasn't even going to go live until after we had a verdict. And that was going to be the next time. I had it. Once I found out Diddy was not testifying and that the defense was not putting on the case, I was like, okay, well, because that's why I was going to go down and do this. I was like, I should go down and do this. Because I want to see what put on that case. But, and they decided not to. I'm going to get into that as well because I've seen a lot of speculations or assumptions as to why they didn't want to put on the case. But y'all know why they didn't put on the case. Why do you think that Diddy did not put on the case? Let me see how much you guys have learned from those. Why do you think Diddy did not put on the case? Hey, we could just see it. And Kingdom, and David, um, Purple Paradox Lady, good to see. Ernest said free my gun. DJ said thank God it is the last city. The raise the Lord. Okay, not the one. You are over. That's over to the fifth power. So, um, yeah. So let's you said the prosecution did remove the Rico. Okay, that's the Black J. Um, Campbell said he will be pardoned by Trump. Shante said because the burden of proof isn't on them, they don't think the prosecution was guilty beyond the proof. Shante, you are the student at the moment. Shante, you are one of them. You are stupid of fun. I could not believe that people were like, oh my God, he gave up. What is he giving up? That's not
Yeah,
what
what is he giving up?
that burden shifting is what
They
called it. doesn't have anything to prove in this case. That's what the prosecutor.
Let me pause this for a second. With all the evidence against Diddy, this is my prediction. He may get off on a couple things, but I'm gonna be brutally honest. He is not getting off on prostitution. Whether y'all like it or not, Diddy is going down for prostitution. I don't care how you want to slice it, how you want to chop it up or whatever. It is what it is. With the evidence against Diddy, Diddy will go down for prostitution. That is it. That is all.
Have to prove his innocence. The prosecution has to prove his guilt on each and every element one of the people down. Now, one of the arguments that is going forth is that when it comes to jury, so with these stuff like here, people are just not giving them up. Where I mentioned the statute of limitation on the police, and they want that to be a jury instruction. Why is that important? It is important because, yes, we've heard so much information about Cassie, but in order for this to even matter, the alleged conspiracy, enterprise, all of that has to be up and including from 2019 forward. Because there's a 5-year statute of limitation. That is, however, statute of limitation is very important. So this is why when it came to James' testimony, I said it before that they actually needed it. Because with just Cassie, it was almost like a background pretext of he's been doing this for years. He's done these 3,000 really extravagant and prostitution under the Mann Act. He's done this for a long time. But then he left Cassie, he let him and Cassie for some 2018. What is also interesting about this case, and what the prosecution probably pondered over as well, is that interestingly or not interestingly, if you're looking at all these text messages that are being introduced, the government is putting in one side, they're like, almost like they're making the defense have to do something higher to up a lot of their exhibits in order to get the full context. So again, there was an argument the last time we went live, and they only did like part of the text or something, and then the defense had to come on and try to do the other part. All right. And then to give it context, that is allegedly what is happening right now. Letting all the jurors, they have to listen to the tape or watch these, physically listen and watch these things. I would not want to be in their shoes right now. They have probably watched more clips in the last couple of weeks than they have in their entire life if they've ever watched it before. And so now you have like now you have the so now you have the defense trying to complete certain texts and complete, okay, the prosecution for 30 seconds of the video. They're doing 1 minute and a half of the video. So they're watching it kind of, for the conclusion of it all. There were some text messages between Cassie that were released. They weren't leaked. People call everything leaked. It's not leaked. Leaked verdict form. The verdict form is the proposed verdict form that was filed on page. So you had the defense to their proposed verdict form, and you have the prosecution to their proposed verdict form, and they probably end up somewhere in them. That is what happens most of the time. Changes. And then the same thing with jury instructions, the proposed jury instructions, because I'm proposing what I want the jury to be instructed, and the government is going to propose what they think is most favorable to them or how they want it to go. And sometimes there's just pattern jury instructions that you just use commonly all the time. Like lawyers, what they say is not evidence. You can try to come up with theories and tie it together with the theories, but it's really not doing that. I never will say what a jury is going to do because you never
Mm-hmm.
know. It's been times where I would think one way and they would think in a whole other way. That's why it's important to do like have a jury consult, which you know, and also have you guys. You cannot tell me that the prosecution, you know, the prosecution is watching our YouTube. They got
Yep,
to take this
they
listen.
are.
But the defense prosecution had to say about this trial. And I believe that after looking at what people had to say between TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, they probably felt like much of the public, enough of the public. There's some people that just like crying, putting in prison, and but aside from that, people that kind of came in with more of an open mind, they're kind of like, I don't think they pretty. I think the Rico is tough. I think the trafficking is tough, and I said before, I still think Taylor's position on the prosecution. Diddy's alleged argument for the prosecution, according to TNT, I don't know how they did their actual strategy when they're going to argue slow information. But the argument allegedly is for the prosecution of these escorts basically testified that they were there not to get paid for X. They were there because they got paid essentially because it didn't want them to reveal what they were doing. So the money being paid is not for the relation. The money being paid is for the quiet. So almost like a little bit like I think it's very interesting. I guess we'll know, right? Some can take messages for casting. I need to upload now. I did not upload them. I didn't upload them, but I did have some of them that I was using, and I was like, very, very interesting. Let me get to your comments and questions, because probably have a lot of them. So one of the batch of texts was written, and as you guys know, inner city press specifically has been fighting very, very hard for transparency in this trial. Every time that they don't file, they talk about communications before jury comes in every day. Inner city press is like, but why is it on the docket? So they file motions. Other people have filed motions as well because they have not been given the exhibits in a timely fashion. So there was a number of texts. People are calling them witnesses, but they are detectives. And I don't know, that if the jury unanimously believes that one or two sides of the participating coercion will be interesting. It'll be very interesting because looking at the text today, that the defense is entering because the prosecution has rested their case. When you look at what the defense is on their cross-examination of the agent, basically doing a summary of the text messages, what they are filling in is times where we know Jane Doe was every time she got with the escort, it was at the prompting of Sean Combs. Well, apparently there's text messages that they exist where she had other relationships, I guess, with some of these people or contacted them a couple of times when Sean Combs actually was out of time. So, let's put up, I'm just going to do summaries of what Jim just Law has to say. So, let's go to, so this is the jurors, if you see this picture. This is the jurors listening and the defense table. This is, well actually this is the jurors, I'm sorry. This is the defense table because you see Diddy. This is probably, that looks like a steel. then Gary goes to the corner. I should be doing a cross examination. This is the agent on the bed. Of course, that's the judge. That's the government. And from what I remember, the government sits towards the front a couple of times that I've been at the Southern District of New York. So this is them.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to and watching audio or no activity. So, according to Denver's law, the bench shows Jane pursues Sly. Remember, Sly is the draw who is hired to glance at the worker. Kenny Garagos read December 2021 text between Jane and Sly. Jane asked him to send me something, then pushed him to fly in for another encounter, even suggesting a day trip when he said he was really with him. And then they give their commentary that challenges Jane's testimony that she only initiated contact on fly under his pressure. Then text about Leo encounter was revealed. The same time a year ago, he was at a text messages from early April 2022 between Jane and Sean Diddy's home. This before Jane allegedly met with the entertainer named Leo. Holmes wrote, "I've been having crazy fantasies about you and Leo." Jane replied, quote, "Baby, I want to make love to you. I want to make love to you. Oh, remember that was going around over there on, I know I'm so random. Over there on TikTok. So, y'all know what I'm talking about. Baby, I want to make love to you. I haven't selfishly had you to myself for 5 months. I'm fine with other stuff, but I really just need you right now."
Give me 1 second,
I
y'all.
shot down and said, "75 celebration." Really nice. Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know. We on vacation. We ain't on no vacation. I work every single day. What could I do? It's like, followed by one-on-one plan. Thomas responded, "Okay, whatever you want." A few messages later, he asked Jane if Leo would be free after we spent some one-on-one time. After the alleged encounter with Leo, Jane texted Holmes again, "Still thinking about you, loving all over me." Then the jury received text messages from early October 2022 between Sean Diddy and a man named Paul, who Jane previously testified frequently participated in their hotel night. Jane texted Paul, "Ready for some fun tonight?" She followed up with, "Come after the butlers are finished hosting. You can wait in the lobby if you get there early." Holmes to Paul, "Hang tight." Around the same time, Holmes also messaged Paul directly, texting, quote, "Hold up, the gap is outside. They leave now, hang tight." So basically they're showing how the staff didn't even know what the heck was going on, and that because they didn't know what was going on, that takes away the whole. They were trying to keep it private. It wasn't anything that everybody knew about it. So. Hey, Ebony Woods. Hey, Lady 3500. It said it's not showing that I'm online. I don't know. I'm here. I'm glad you found me. So, then this next one has the Vincent Attorney Kenny Garagos to be sex Jane in 2023. Diddy and Jane appear to be coordinating a hotel night taking steps to avoid scheduling. Then Diddy, there was a text where he said, "Can I walk in on one call?" I was like that. And he's like, "Yeah." She followed up asking, "What then this is another text. It said maybe 9:30, so he doesn't run into anyone. Jane later texted Paul, okay, let me make sure the coast is clear. So again, this was trying to show that there was no organization here. Yes, he's done some criminal stuff, but whatever he did, it wasn't no RICO. It was just because he chose to be the criminal that he decided to be. None of this was organized. This is crime. Basically saying this was his business. And now we're trying to police his business. Homeland Security got other things to do with their lives. But they want to come and worry about each other in the bedroom. So then Jane told the entertainer to, quote, give it a beat for security. She later texted, quote, he's still making sure everyone's gone outside. So again, these are text messages where the man that was on the stand with the summons of the text, they left all this. So then they said Diddy was sitting all like, they said they could see time where he sat there like, so Diddy over it. He's so over all of this. They've embarrassed him. A lot of people won't look at what he's saying because it's all up in his business. They basically told every intimate detail, I think, of his life and his partner's lives and his girlfriend's lives. And yes, this is why I said it didn't make sense for him to pay cash for the you pay that money before it gets out because you're trying to protect other individuals knowing what's going on, trying to protect your image, reputation. And that's not uncommon. But once it got out and seen everybody around the whole world, it's different. But hey, who am I? So then they talked about this misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy gets punched over following along after lawyer Kenny Jericho crossed them with the HSI agent about text, showing James booking escorts and planning freak-off. The prosecution is expected
And we all know who Jane is.
now. Can't have KK, no. Diddy Jane, I can't have KK, no. Jane arranged the location for a hotel night, met with an entertainer, and picked up this outfit. When asked if she was in the mood, she replied, yes, I am. Diddy said, did you get killed? And hit me with when the coast was clear. Jane said, Joey is gone and the tug is pulling up. Next day, Jane texted Diddy, I love you, nothing on me and me on you. And then May of 2023, James texted Diddy about available entertainer, adding, quote, baby only said. After he didn't reply, she was organizing a hotel night and flights to Miami. Payments and lobby wages. Jane told the entertainer she was clearing out the assistant. Give me a sec. They had to stop by to drop off stuff. Later, she thanked him and offered to send payment from his business. And then they take a break. 10 years ago to Zoom Cross. What do you think of the new guy? That's what did. Jane said, he seems cool, Dave. I'll make sure he signs the paperwork. That these people had to sign NDAs, which would basically corroborate that they were being paid quiet every time they came.
Yeah, that sounds like NDA to me, Pam. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, Pam. That sounds like NDA to me. Girl, listen.
You're paying them to be quiet, but so it's not prosecuting. I'm not paying for the actual act. So allegedly, apparently, there must have been NDAs that a lawsuit. For you not to disparage me, I'm gonna have to give you a couple dollars. Not tell people what we got going on in here, I'm gonna have to give you a couple dollars. So apparently this is why they're coming up with the prosecution defense allegedly. Um, can everyone check that you hit the like button? Thank you so much, Tracy. Get the people together. Chapel Hill said, right, the insurance company for the label settled, and now we are here listening to police and advertise that. Pretty much. But it's almost over. Almost over. Almost over. So listen. James Diddy says, I love being quickly towards you. I need to get outfits from the police. He replied, I effing love it. And that James replied, tonight was amazing per usual. That's why you had all these people getting on the stand saying they didn't think that she wasn't acting like she was coerced or that she didn't want to be there. So then Christina Coram said, wild king mode active or douchebag active. Brendan Paul replied,
Okay, okay.
The HSI agent confirmed February 19, 2024 wasn't listed as hotel event and no text from Diddy or Jamie received for the day. Jane in Miami before apology video. Flight records show Jane flew to Miami just before his May 2024 Instagram apology over the casting soft footage. HSI agent confirmed no evidence of a third party meeting them in Miami. Cross-exam turns into closing argument. 20 years ago, cross-agent is dragging past the 1 hour 15 estimate. She's using the government's final witness to preview the defense's case. Messages showing Jane as an enthusiastic participant in Diddy's free guide. So then the jury watches the exclusive videos, which is probably the drawing that we saw. The jury is viewing another extremely explicit clip per Judge Submarinian Quarter. The public and press cannot see or hear it. Sensitive material is shielded from privacy. 10 years ago showed jury records showing Diddy personally paid travel invoices for Jane and entertainers in September and November 2023, but the government charged credits to travel managers. So basically, the chart says the travel manager is the one that pays for it, and this thing kept coming up, whoever this lady is. Some people know about her. I don't know the lady, but apparently it's a big deal related to maybe some other celebrities or not, I think. And so they showed records that showed that it was not the travel manager, actually. No. Diego said, you didn't write that Mr. Stone personally paid for these. So now there's a 6-minute video shown to the jury, and they're explicit. She told the court one final video remains, and it was created December 17, 2021, before she answered her call. So the cross-examination and redirect began. The defense concluded a lengthy cross of HSI agent Joseph Cerciello. Prosecutors have now begun their redirect questions. The prosecutors and Sean Diddy Combs have rested their case. Judge Submarinian has dismissed the jury for lunch break. So now, what's going to end up happening? I told you guys the motion judgment of acquittal. We talked about that before. They're going to ask that the judge dismiss this case, saying that they have not satisfied the verdict. The judge is probably going to say, yeah, whatever. Subject to confirming that all the government exhibits are actually reflected in the record, the government rests that prosecutor Andrew Johnson will now resume to ensure all evidence is properly submitted. Defense attorney Alexander Shapiro, quote, there's no evidence that Christina Form knew or believed that his girlfriend was being coerced, end quote. So it takes away the co-conspirator aspect of it because they kept saying she was a co-conspirator because according to everyone else, yeah, she may have known about this freak off the party, pink nights, and we got different names, this hotel nights with James. However, she didn't know he was committing. It was not okay. She didn't
What?
know
What?
it was actually
What?
alleged coercion. So how are you saying there's a conspiracy? You have to have an agreement with someone to have a conspiracy. This is a representing conspiracy charge. So they don't believe that they've shown who he conspired with. And they're alleging he conspired with Christina Form. But if Christina Form had no clue that there was coercion, that means that she may have had a clue that there were these hotel nights. But she had no clue that he was allegedly like coercing them, which is what would be required when it comes to this trafficking specific. Shapiro added, there's no evidence form for so this is the thing that they are arguing to the judge. It looks like for their motion for a acquittal. Shapiro added there's no evidence form facilitated any crime except maybe drugs for personal use. She argued that for text show Diddy lied to form. Shapiro further said that's not the way like a meeting of the mind. She stressed that the alleged conspiracy began in 2004, but Form didn't become significantly involved until 2016. So she wasn't even around in 2004 when she was saying conspiracy started in 2004. And the reason why the government took 2004, the only information we got from 2004 was from Capricorn Plot, which would have been this alleged torching of the kids. I think that's from Capricorn Plot. So apparently they're saying she didn't get specifically involved until 2015. They moved for acquittal. Alexander Shapiro has filed a motion for judgment of acquittal on all accounts. She's now breaking down why the defense prosecutors failed to prove their case. No conspiracy on racketeering. On the racketeering conspiracy count, didn't I tell y'all it's racketeering conspiracy? All these people going around saying something different. I'm like, I'm going to need some of y'all to do.
They need to come up with something new, bro. Seriously.
Okay, let me see if you guys can file the document. That was very interesting to me. You guys, please make sure you hit the like button, right?
Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. And it's almost 8 o'clock at night, and it's still hot as hell. Lord have mercy.
Okay, she says, on the racketeering conspiracy count, there's at best a thin proof that any of the other employees willingly participated in crimes with and for Mr. Collins. Only exception, small amounts of drugs. What does staff really know? The Bureau says home participants didn't know much, if anything, about what went on between Mr. Collins and his girlfriend in the hotel room. Shapiro said Diddy took steps to conceal the nature of the actual activity. That's why they were showing on text from his employees. Evidence? It was Combs, Jane, and Cassie, entertainers, not the staff. Shapiro also pointed to messages, including one seen earlier today, where Jane coordinated hotel nights to avoid staff run-in. So they're saying, I guess they asked this person have they ever been granted. Of course they've been granted before, but so I think so. I'm shocked. Ex-trafficking with Cass, Alexander Shapiro says the government does prove the Diddy coerced Cass no evidence she didn't want to participate in the free fall. She enjoyed it. So a person with the
Yep, no
constitution
evidence.
would have understood that. She enjoyed the actual activity and did not feel coerced, Shapiro told the judge. Their relationship was toxic and the home was regrettably violent at times. But domestic violence is not abstract. And says Ventura was not coerced into free fall through violence. If Diddy became violent, she left. So that was one of the things what the government was trying to prove, which I don't think they did, is that the video that we saw at the hotel, it was after a freak off according to her, but Cassie couldn't say that she was beating her, telling she had to stay and continue to do the freak off. That's what they were trying to portray. That's the picture they were trying to paint on this canvas. However, I don't know if they did that. But the judge may think, because that's the theory that can be deduced from it, a jury needs to decide whether they want to get back to the house. So of course the judge reserved his ruling. Judge said he'll reserve decision on the defense motion for judgment of the court. Then they have to have, because Combs has the right to testify, they have to ask him in open court on the record, do you intend on testifying? You know you have to testify. Are you being correct? Have you been trying to finish it? Just you ain't gonna be right, you're not. But you know you got this right. You're waiting for that right to testify. They have to get all that on the record. So, they say Judge Submarine is conducting the allocution about his right not to testify. Do you understand it's your decision? He said, yes, my decision. I'm making it. Because apparently he's going hard and shake up on it. He's like, ain't no system add fire fuel to the flame. I don't think that they actually prove it. So that's probably what he's thinking. Not beyond a reasonable doubt, he feels like his attorney poked enough holes during cross-examination of which it has not been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Here's Robert said this wants to testify, so I'm sure he wants to, and I'm sure whoever gets that sit-down interview, of which I'm sure he's going to own half of, if he does walk about that point on Friday, then they come back in like 35 minutes, he's walking out. If they gotta wait, then it's gonna be about a little bit, and they're probably a month. Anything in between is kind of up in the air, because probably it's gonna cost.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, Cheney said if I was on the jury, I could send this man to prison for life. And that's what he's talking. Okay, said I think this one is a walk. Make sure y'all hit the like button.
I don't think he walking. Like I said earlier, I believe that he is going to go down for the
Then the judge
prostitution.
Submarine said, I've been wanting to tell you thank you. You're doing an excellent job. The judge chuckled and replied, thank you, I appreciate it. Look at Diddy trying to finesse the judge, like, now that I have a chance to talk to you, I think you're doing a great job. Well, he's not going to he makes a terrible suspect, but you know, I understand it. People go They're taking a 15-minute break. Afterwards, the defense will present its brief case and then adjourn for the day. So it looks like what they're going to do is the defense is probably going to make sure evidence is there. So they may not be calling witnesses. I'm interested. I thought at minimum they were going to try to have an expert come on at minimum. However, it appears that maybe because their expert wasn't all that great, they felt like they didn't have to. So over the weekend, they had a lot of decisions. So it's very interesting how at first they said he needed 1 week to put on the case. Then it went to, oh, well, the government's going to end early. They dropped the witnesses. Okay, we're going to be 2 weeks. Then it went from 2 weeks to 2 to 5 days. Then it went from 2 to 5 days. So we're not calling about it. We thought they had fun. We're not calling anybody. And so I think the consensus amongst a lot of people is we got bamboozled by the people. I picked up what we put down a few months after, but I have to admit, I kind of drunk the Kool-Aid too last night. Because until I think, when I saw the indictment, I'm like, what is this package? What people are? But they kept saying it's an ongoing investigation. Damien Williams is like, it's ongoing. We know it'll be superseded. So I'm thinking all the stuff about these people coming out on case and celebrities, all the stuff is going to come out, but they're just waiting to present it. But the interesting part is y'all did all these grades, and y'all, you don't have anything on your own device. Nothing. Everything they got was past these devices, probably was Jane Doe, which probably didn't that big. But nothing from this man's devices that were in his home after this big media circus, because the cameras were already outside set up by the time Homeland Security. And y'all ain't get nothing out of it. Nothing. So the allocution dialogue, this is the dialogue, and allocution is basically, if a person like is getting about to be sentenced, from that perspective, you give your client background. You tell them you're your father, you never kids, whatever. From this perspective, it's you have a dialogue doing what your right is, and that you understand your rights and everything, because you have a constitutional right to testify. However, it doesn't have to. And I kind of was leaning towards when they made sure the jury instruction came out about him not testifying, but they also had one about him testifying as well. But that's a jury instruction. I'm sure it's going to be entered in that cannot use that against him because he doesn't have to serve. I understand basically by the media that is a hard concept for a lot of people to grasp. It's a hard